Welcome to Geek on Film with your host, Robbie Holmes. Hey there, folks. Welcome to episode 12 of season 3 of Geek on Film. This week I'm going to be reviewing the Nova Fest 2025. I believe it's the 11th Nova Fest that has been held here in Virginia. And I was able to go to both nights of screenings and the gala on the Saturday night with my wife. And my date for the screenings was my friend Dave. So got a chance to see a lot of films. So lots of shorts, lots of longer shorts, a couple of trailers that I'm not really going to talk about, and a couple of feature-length films. So we can start right at the top. The first film I saw was Written in Skin. This is a film, according to our friends at IMDb. It is a lesbian couple writes the final chapter in their love story. It's written and directed by Damien Wappler, and it stars Carrie Bibb, Jessica Claros, and there's a third person who is sort of like an extra character that is there to bounce off of, Carlos Tejera. My review over on Letterboxd was 3.5 stars, and surprisingly complete film with a bunch of nuance and intimacy for a 12-minute short film. Also, a lot of it was shot in Northern Virginia, some of it right down the road here in Old Town Manassas. Super fun, very well done. It felt like a complete thought, and that I think really resonated with me. It's a great way to kick off the festival. Next up for me was Come Out Wherever You Are. This was a short, it was a drama sci-fi, it had a 29-minute runtime, so a little bit longer. According to our friends at IMDb, a man retreats to his home in the woods to live out the rest of his life in this solitude. He hopes to evade the public eye. After 6 years, Vern's past returns to haunt him, driving him into self-imposed exile in his cabin in the woods. Hoping to ride out the media storm, while he's away, a storm of a different form rolls in, drastically changing the world as he knew it, culminating in a tale of a man who is both a victim and a beneficiary of circumstance. Written by Dan Burns, directed by Caitlin Pressburg. The cast in this film is Amber Rose Mason as Marge, Marilyn Bass as Marion, who is sort of an important character at the end. The voice of his daughter of a character is Melanie McNulty. Vern is played by Blake Pastino, and Pete is played by Douglas Hurricane Hall. I gave it sort of 3 stars over on Letterboxd, and my 2-word review was cool concept. This is one where what happens if you head off into the woods to your cabin and you stay there for about a month and you return home and everything's got sort of a thin layer of dust on it and no one is there. Well done. Felt like it was a smart and clever way to create a sci-fi story without having to spend a lot of money on effects or things like that. And I really was impressed with it. I think it was a fun short. Felt like it could be fleshed out into a larger film. Next up is a documentary called 19 at 20. It is a documentary shot by someone who works at CBS 19 in Charlottesville, Virginia, about the 20 years that this station has been up and running and has been providing local news to the area. It was really charming. You can watch it on the website, CBS News, CBS 19. If you get a chance, you should check it out. It was a very positive story about the impact of local news and why this specific channel and its impact on the community, and why it is the way that it is and how that it survived. And people from the past come back to talk. So it's very charming. You should check it out if you get a chance. Next up is Smile for the Dead, an examination of spirit photography. Our friends at IMDb have it as uncovers the eerie mystery of William H. Mumler's spirit photography and his ghostly portraits of the 1800s. This documentary investigates Mumler's techniques and why society has so needed him in the post-Civil War era. This is directed and written by Hamilton Young Ward, and he is one of the talking heads that's part of this movie. There's some other folks that are a part of this that are giving information, whether it's a photographer or somebody who's a PhD talking about the impact of this. I have it as a 3-star film, a short documentary that delved into something I have never heard of before, spirit photography. The film is interesting. There are a few cool framing devices that make an impact. The documentary doesn't have a bunch of final answers, but it's fun. And I stand by that. I think it was a really well put together documentary. I wish that the final 5 minutes had had sort of some conclusive component that made me feel like the person who went on this journey, the writer and director who was so enthralled with this subject matter, was able to get some closure. And that closure would have felt like we as an audience member got something out of it. I think you should check it out. It was really fun, and hopefully we'll get a slightly longer version of this with a little bit more closure at some point in the future. Let's see. Next up is Life of Mars. This is a 13-minute film that was made all with CGI. It's all captured footage of the person who made it. There's not a ton of information online. There's a link in the notes, just like 19 at 20, to the full film. You can watch the whole movie. I don't have. I was really impressed with what was able to be pulled off by a single artist. The person who created this did all the motion capture himself. He was there at NovaFest. It was very well done. It won a bunch of awards at the gala evening. If you are interested to check out his work, please click the link in the show notes and check out the full film. Next up is William Shakespeare's The Tempest. So there's no plot over on our friends at IMDb, but the page exists. It is the writers for this are Garrett Replogi and William Shakespeare, of course, and it was directed by Garrett Replogi. This movie is very big for what it is. It's got a huge cast. You've got Natalie Basner as Ariel. You got Carol Damgang as Admiral Alisana. Garrett himself is playing Stefano. Chris Kuhn is playing Caliban. Liza Ann Tulip playing Captain Antonia. Gavin Duran playing Adrian. Jaylee Sapphire playing Sai Korax. Zachary Bortot playing Sebastian. Nicole Sporich playing Miranda. Jonathan Haranato playing Dr. Gonzalo. Daniel McDonnell playing Ferdinand. Benjamin Logo playing TV Inoculo, and William Galeen playing Prospero. My review over on Letterboxd is a truly in-depth and interesting adaptation of The Tempest using a Star Trek-like backdrop, a truly committed film. After the film ended, there's often a Q&A at this festival, and there was no one who was able to make it for this film. And the person who ran the film festival, Fernando, asked if anybody had any quick reviews of it. And I said, committed. It's the one word I think that makes the most sense. It is well done. The sci-fi aspects are really interesting. I feel like this is a 2-hour and 5-minute independent film that absolutely is fun and interesting and well done for what it is. You should definitely check it out if you get a chance, if it's at a film festival near you. All right, next up is Box Boy. Now, Box Boy is, according to our friends at IMDb, a boy raised in a rigid beige society where boxes define every part of his life, meets a colorful girl who changes his views on the world. His job, life, and family all hang in the balance, but he soon learns there may be more to life outside of the box. I gave this 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd, and I said, truly clever and well-produced short film about about societal conformity. I was lucky enough to see this film. It was written by Kelsey Edwards and Joey Long, and it was directed by Kelsey Edwards. Kelsey plays the Flower Girl, and Joey Long plays Box Boy. I got a chance to meet Joey at the event. I was really impressed with the film overall. There's a whole bunch of very fun and clever ways to make this film sing without any words. Other actors in this film are Ali Barr plays Box Mom. Stefania Barr plays Young Box Mom. Thomas Bond plays Young Box Dad. Elia Galani plays Box Coworker. Mark Kemsley plays Box Dad. Ben Lee plays Box Friend. And Wes Tolman plays Box Boss. Real clever. If you get a chance to check it out, you should. You will not be disappointed. And a whole story told in 12 minutes. Very cool, very clever. And the use of music and framing and honestly, cinematography tells this story in a really unique and beautiful way. It was really, really charming. Next up for me is A Mother's Promise. Our friends at IMDb do not have a plot, but I said that this film is a story of how innocent women were prosecuted and imprisoned as prostitutes. 3.5-star film. I really like this. It was written by David J. Wohl and it was directed by Heather Waters. Samantha Bruce plays Vivian Gordon. Ada Manny plays Benita. James Budd plays Vivian's client. Cahill Dote plays the judge. Kawasandra Lasagna plays the dancer. Hannah Houston plays dancer. Anastasia Hines plays bar patron. Mark Ingram plays trumpet player. Rodney Staith plays jazz band. It's like beach. Michael F. White plays court officer. Sidney Quashie plays bartender. Brendan Riley plays courtroom gangster. Yeah, it's really impressive. The tagline for this movie is when an aspiring singer in New York City is framed and falsely imprisoned on prostitution charges, she launches into a combination escort service and extortion racket to fund the fight to regain custody of her daughter and vows revenge against those who set her up. I really like this. I was really impressed. I think the framing device of setting it in a bar where she's a singer and sort of that is the backdrop for the entire film was really well done. There were people from the film there in the Q&A and then afterwards. It was shot in Richmond at some local bar there. Really cool, really nice to see a film like this get made. And in the end, I really feel like I'm hopeful that this turns into a larger version of this. I think there's a bigger film to be made to take this and flesh it out into a feature-length film. I really enjoyed it. I can't say more positively that I wish this would become a bigger thing. It's 13 minutes. I could see this absolutely becoming a feature-length film. It was really good. Next up, Time Alone in Fear and Sadness. So this was written by Derek Patterson and Maggie Shirk and directed by Derek Patterson. I have it as 3.5 stars, really touching and poignant film about isolation and sadness. This is a dystopian future. According to IMDb, we don't have a tagline officially. We've got Maggie playing Eloise. You've got Nakia Dillard playing Sam. Brian Anthony Wilson as the radio announcer. Rachel Chelsea Foster playing Survivor. And Kelly McCreary playing Shadow Person. This is a really interesting film that I hope can be fleshed out and then turn into something a little bit larger. It felt like it was a complete thought for such a short film, but I could see this being a bigger film that talks a lot more about the world and how we got here, and also gives us a little more time for the sadness to really linger. This is a really great film about what happens to a person who, in the middle of something bad, is left to their own devices, and then others try to come and be a part of that world. You should check it out. I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. Next up, Memory Project. When volunteer subjects participate in a simple Yale University experiment in 1961, the unsettling experience pushes them to uncover disturbing truths deeply embedded in each human being. This is written by Timothy Parsons and directed also by Timothy. We've got a bunch of folks that are going through this process of one person is put into a room and they are connected to an electrode. The other person asks questions, and every time they answer a question wrong, they are hit with electricity, and it continues to increase how much electricity. So, subject one is played by Jim France. Subject two is played by John Edgar Barker. Subject three is played by Roseanne Hinshaw. Subject number four is Russell Shealy. Subject number five is Greg Provo. Subject six is Chris Corcalo. Subject seven, Josh Tyson. Stanley Milgram is played by John Wilkins the third. The camera operator is Jason Rebholz. The teacher's assistant is Brett Parsons. Subject to alternate was Jack Mayo. And the experimenter was played by Daniel Braswell. I did not actually rate this movie. I would say it's 3.5 star short. I gave it a heart. I said it was a well done shot, well done short shot as a documentary style based on a real experience. We get some really interesting moments where the framing is really well done. I think the cinematography is great. For a short 20-minute film, it gave us sort of a really good indication of what I feel like it must have been to be a part of this experiment, but also to give us some understanding of what it felt like to be there. I think we spend a lot of time with Josh Tyson, who's subject seven, and a lot of the dialogue is him arguing with and going back and forth with the experimenter. But in the end, I was really impressed with this film, and I think it would make for a really cool, longer feature if that is something they want to take on. There's enough story here, in my opinion, to flesh that out. Maybe a little time at the beginning, seeing how people are chosen for the experiment and who apply, and then this experiment itself, and then sort of the fallout afterwards. But I really enjoyed it. I think you should check it out if you get a chance. Next up is Unfit. Our friends at IMDb have this as a couple's relationship crumbles as they struggle to put a fitted bedsheet on. It's written and directed by Jonathan Aboff and Nick Nestor. And our cast is two actors. We have Anthony Pavone and Lonnie Street. Anthony's playing Mike. Lonnie is playing Bobby. This is a really short, amazing film that really makes you understand how quickly something that is seemingly not that important can become important. I believe it's as Anthony's mother-in-law is arriving, they are putting a fitted sheet on their spare bed, and in the middle of it, they are having this conversation, and it eventually leads to them having a conversation or an argument about them having kids, which eventually leads to her saying she doesn't want to have kids, and him being on the other side of that conversation. And then the sheet itself tears as they're trying to put it on in a very metaphorical way. I was really impressed. This movie was well done. I was very charmed by it. And I gave it 3.5 stars. And I really was surprised at how much this film accomplished in such a short period of time. It's my review was an impactful film about relationships and with folks with different wants. You should check it out if it comes to a short festival near you, or check it out when it's available online at some point. Next up is one of the more surprising type of films. It was a comedy called Xmas Anonymous. This movie surprised me, came sort of out of nowhere, it felt like. When a group of, according to our friends at IMDb, when a group of Christmas addicts gather for their regular meeting, the addition of a new member could be a catalyst for a relapse they've all been waiting for. It's written and directed by Sam Smedley. The cast is Sammy Smedley plays Tammy, Latricia Staples plays Estelle, Brian Riley plays Carl, Chris Paul Morales plays Danny, and Augustus Bryan plays Barry. I gave it a heart, and I said a truly funny and unique film. This film breaks down very quickly from like a 12-step style meeting where people are sharing their experiences to a very comedic effect where we open on Brian Riley playing Carl wearing a Merry Tankmas shirt. He's a military man wearing camo, and it's so silly. And then Tammy arrives and is one of the new members to this group, and everything kind of goes off the rails. Very charming, very funny, and honestly, it felt like it was longer than 17 minutes in the most positive of ways. I really had a good time. I laughed a lot. It was a nice, welcome reprieve at that point in the film festival. It really got everybody to take a minute and giggle, and it was really nice to have that happen. For me, the next one up is My Missing Year. My Missing Year is, according to our friends at IMDb, a Southern dysfunctional family dramedy where a socially awkward 11-year-old is forced to live in the Mason's home for widows and orphans after his mother gets dumped by her second loser husband. It's written by C. Stephen Foster, and it's directed by Kylie Hitchcock. This film has a cast of Cameron Plavy playing Samantha, Kathy Patterson playing Granny, Victoria Pilot playing Penny, Mary Armstrong playing Marion, David Abbott playing Sal, Isaiah Williams playing Clive, Chantel Vant Irv playing Rhonda, Keani King playing Tammy, Troy Greenwood playing Raymond, Austin Vanderkamp playing Peter, and Beckett William playing David. It is a pretty heavy film for what it was. We are seeing a film about a child who is sort of not the focal point of his parents, whether his mother or his future stepfather, and eventually he's left to be a part of a home for children who are orphaned and eventually taken back. But while he's at that home for the orphaned, he seems to be thriving. And we're sort of left with this idea that this boy is going to go home with his mother, and we're not sure, I think, what his fate is going to be. I gave this 3 stars. It was a little heavy, and it felt like it could really be fleshed out a little bit further into a larger film that would give a little more context for the implications for where we're going. But as a short, it was very well done. Cool. The next film for me is And Now I Lay Me Down. This is a comedy for sure. According to IMDb, the summary for this film is fading actress Celia Dalvey arranges her perfect day. It doesn't go as planned. It is written and directed by Randy DeMouth. The cast. So I gave this, I would say 4 stars, and Heart, a great short film following an aging actress as her world collapses. That aging actress is portrayed by James Kazmarek as Celia Dalvey. We have David Guerra playing Manuel, Sheenie Nielsen playing Maya, Alejandro Flores playing Alejandra. We have Achak Majak playing Anastasia, Hannah Lee playing Catherine, Michael Viller playing Drew, the delivery man, number 1, Sebastian Fernandez playing Matt, delivery man, number 2. A young Celia is played by Camilla Shamini. Chloe Carroll plays Celia Dalvey's mom. Celia's granddaughter, is played by Bianca Roshdi. Salon worker number 1 is played by Elle Eslig. Rachel Zarnaski plays salon worker 2. The voice of young Celia is played by Suzette Clay. Randy DeMouth plays Celia's agent's voice on the phone. A couple of voice actors. So the Drew's voice is played by Henry Nowalski. Robert Louis Howley is the voice of the sushi delivery driver. And Celia Dalvey's husband is played by Eric Roberts, mostly, I believe, in photos. This was a blast. You should check it out. This is 100% a movie that I felt like was an audition to be turned into a feature-length film. It was funny. It was moving. It was silly. And boy, was it a tour de force to give Jane Kazmarek a chance to shine at the center of a film. It was a blast. I enjoyed it so much. You should totally check it out. We're down to the last 2 films here. First up was a documentary called Still Running, the Egan Dell Story. Our friends at IMDb have this as this documentary follows camera store owner Egan exploring his passion for photography, his deep connection with people, and the artistry behind the lens of his craft. It was written by Hilaria Landaverde, Kyle Rayo, Quinn Wolverton, and it was shot by Kyle Rayo and Quinn Wolverton. And our cast is legitimately Egan. This movie is very charming. My rating and review of it was 3.5 stars. A truly moving documentary about a local business owner of a photography shop in Annandale, Virginia. What was really amazing is the subject of this film and the directors were there on site for the Q&A afterwards. And we spend a short period of time getting to live in this person's world. We get a chance to see how this one single person has impacted his community. He is single-handedly running this store and has been for like 30 years. It's a really moving exploration of what it is to be a part of a community and not really doing it for any reason other than the passion to help others. He seems to get so much enjoyment out of being the guy that the community can rely on. It's really impressive, truly moving, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, here we are. Final film, 500 Fireflies. Our friends over at IMDb have this as single dad Daniel moves his daughter June to his small hometown for the summer, only to find that economic depression and youthful exodus have hit the town hard. Daniel and June seek hope and new beginnings in the small community. It was written by Zane Gillis and Lysandra Peterson and was directed by Lysandra Peterson. My review of this is 4 stars and a heart, an absolute charmer, family story of all generations still trying to figure it out. The cast for this film, Richard Reel playing Oscar, Brett Cooper playing June, Lydia Porta playing Kathy, Brian Villalobos playing Daniel, Jesse Birch playing Roscoe, Thomas E. Belgray playing Barney, Akasha Villalobos playing Naomi, Robin Williams, the singer, Nicholas Nadiro playing Tyler, Honor Drew playing Miriam, Lillian Williams playing singer, Kate O'Kelly playing the Mennonite woman, Zach La Liberté playing Shad, Khadija Mehtar playing Fatima, Mark Jeter playing Gordon, J.K. Peterson playing Mary John, Stevie Ray playing Old Man, Abina Foreman Trice playing Pastor Jackson, Bodana Madlova playing Natalia, Pat Jarrett playing Bearded Man, Linda Witt playing Mama, Jordan Foreman playing Kelvin, Rebecca Russo playing Kim, Ty Burris playing Blaine, Reed Stidham playing Red, Devin Flynn playing Zeb, Mark Jeter playing Gordon, Raymond Liberté playing Trix, William Gilbert playing TJ, and Thad McQuaid playing Trey. A really, really charming movie. Brett Cooper as June is fantastic. Brian Villalobos as a sort of sad dad trying to figure it out, who has constantly pissed off his daughter and can't get out of his own way to not get in trouble with his daughter or with anybody else. Really, he does a great job. And Honor Drew as Miriam is fantastic. She's so empathetic and caring. I really enjoyed this movie. I think that it really feels like a lot of love went into making this. It feels like it picks and chooses from small aspects of real life of some of the folks that were a part of this film. We were lucky enough to have Lysandra Peterson and her husband and a friend all there to talk about the film afterwards. And she did say that some of the stories came from her friend and his life in this small town. It was shot in the Shenandoah Valley. It was a super charming film. I had a really good time with it. If you get a chance, you should check it out. It's called 500 Fireflies. I can't tell you how happy I was to have this film be the sort of culmination of this film festival. And I really enjoyed it. I hope you get a chance to see it. And I hope you enjoyed this review of NovaFest. 2025. It's my first time attending this festival. I will say one of the things that I noticed throughout this whole process is there's an awful lot of filmmakers that are not going and creating pages for their films on the moviedb.org. And that moviedb.org actually feeds Letterboxd. So if you want people to review your films and have a connection to them across the Letterboxd community, you need to create your films in the moviedb.org. I have done that for a bunch of these films. I've also created a Letterboxd list for NovaFest 2025, where every film that was available either on Letterboxd already or that I added, I reviewed. I tried to give them some love. I really enjoy local film festivals. I have such a good time seeing what's up and coming and who's eventually going to be the next big filmmaker, or just sometimes somebody telling a personal story that I think is really charming and worthwhile. I am really glad I got a chance to attend this. I expect to attend more local film festivals. This upcoming weekend is DC Film Fest. I'm going to try to make it over there, at least for a little bit. I really enjoy this aspect of being a sort of a bit of a critic. I get a chance to see films that some people may never see. I get a chance to meet some creatives that I might not have gotten to meet otherwise. And if you are a director or producer and you'd like me to review your films, feel free to send them over to me. I'm Robbie at geekonfilm.com. You can find me everywhere online. I'm Robbie the Geek. You can find Geek on Film at geekonfilm.com or geekonfilm.com and find all of our social media connections. I just recently started adding the podcast to YouTube as a podcast, so that seems to be getting some traction. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you find it, especially if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast. It'd be really helpful. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for listening to a podcast about a local film festival. I am sure all the creatives are very excited that this is out there and that you listened this far. Have a great day, and I look forward to catching up. I have 3 recent releases that I have to review. I've had a little bit of a time. I had some oral surgery I had to take care of, so I will be getting back at it. I promise there'll be a couple of episodes up in the next week. Thank you for sticking in there, and thank you for, as always, for being a listener. Have a great week. Bye-bye. This has been a Geek on Film podcast. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.